This young man accidentally reincarnates in a deadly world crawling with monsters, only to discover that he is nothing more than a single-celled organism without even a complete body. He is already at the bottom of the food chain, yet the game starts him on hell difficulty. He is completely doomed. Fortunately, his miraculous decomposition ability lets him absorb anything around him. Every time he decomposes something, his stats soar and he awakens even more overpowered skills. His clone technique can create countless minions to farm monsters and level him up. His corpse reanimation can control the dead, falling short of the second Hokage's version only because it does not come with a coffin. Most people fear being possessed by a tailed beast. This guy possesses the beast instead, to the point that even Naruto would have to call him for advice. Deep inside a gloomy swamp forest filled with toxic miasma, a strange creature slowly wakes up. Surrounded by buzzing insects and the flickering glow of ghostly lights, it blurts out in confusion. "Where am I? What kind of reincarnation dumps me in a swamp?" Fuzzy memories return. It clearly remembers lying in bed last night, scrolling through comics, and drifting off to sleep. Faced with this harsh reality, it realizes in shock that it died suddenly and reincarnated in another world. Though initially panicked, it quickly calms down, accepts the situation, and starts thinking about survival. It tries calling out, "Hello? Is anybody here?" Only the terrifying silence of the ancient forest answers, making it decide that silence might actually be safer. Breathing in the damp, miasma-filled air feels strangely comfortable. That brief relief vanishes when the creature realizes it is now nothing more than a slimy blob. At that moment, a system window appears and identifies it as a level 1 slime mold, a weak little creature with the decomposer trait. Danger warnings keep sounding, its health is critically low, autophagy has begun, and it must eat or rest immediately. With only 7 out of 30 health remaining and the number still dropping, it realizes death is close unless it eats something right away. It frantically looks around for food. Relying on its decomposer trait, the slime mold decides to try eating a piece of rotten wood. Its body expands and wraps around the target to absorb it. The taste is like soggy bread, but still tolerable. After 15 minutes of relentless decomposition, a congratulatory notice appears. It has reached level 2, and its health is fully restored. The system also grants it a skill point to enhance either decomposition or pulsation. Torn between the choices, the slime mold thinks, "I understand decomposition, but what the heck is pulsation? Is this another world version of an unskippable ad? Fine, let me add a point and see what it does." The moment it activates the skill, pulsation rises to level 3, causing the tissues throughout its body to contract repeatedly. The slime mold realizes that pulsation circulates protoplasm back and forth, allowing it to move. It excitedly absorbs the new knowledge. How amazing! Activating a skill automatically transfers the information into its mind. Though technically it no longer seems to have a head. When Rottenwood stops giving experience, it crawls down to the ground to explore and unexpectedly encounters a new creature. It is a mushroom. Humans may be wary of unfamiliar fungi, but the slime mold's instincts insist that this one must be delicious. It uses its newfound mobility to calculate the shortest path to the target. Slime molds may move slowly, but their maze-solving ability is remarkable, sometimes even outperforming human engineers planning subway routes. Climbing onto the bright mushroom cap, the slime mold cheers. "Dinner is served! Time to munch on this tasty mushroom." In its excitement, it even fantasizes about an online date with a cute little mushroom. In its imagination, it transforms into a refined gentleman in an elegant suit. Reality immediately crushes that fantasy when the other party reveals herself as a vicious old hag. The system issues an emergency warning: poison is invading its body and draining its nutrients. Its health has fallen to 24 out of 35. The slime mold freezes in horror. "I've been poisoned!" To save its life, it painfully cuts off the infected part of its body. "Good thing I acted fast, or I would have died." It survives, but the failed decomposition severely reduces its maximum health to only 17. Unwilling to admit defeat, it retreats to its headquarters, the rotten log, to recover, leaving behind a declaration of war. Wait until this fungus returns to base and regroups. Then I will fight you again. After 15 minutes of recovery, its health returns to the full 35 out of 35. Brimming with fighting spirit, the slime mold heads back to the scene. Full health again. Round 2, everyone! It devises an extremely shameless strategy called luring the tiger away from the mountain, eat a little, retreat before the poison fully takes effect, recover, then return and eat some more. With stubborn persistence, it believes that given enough time, the mushroom has to fall. After repeating this imagined cycle of charging in and retreating 8 times, the slime mold finally decomposes the troublesome mushroom completely. In its fantasy, the ugly old mushroom hag is promptly hauled away by Imperial guards. The system announces that it has gained experience and, more importantly, level 1 poison resistance. The slime mold nods in satisfaction. So that explains why I could endure the poison longer each time near the end. It is slightly disappointed that it did not level up immediately, but the damp forest is filled with countless other mushrooms. The slime mold knows it has found an endless resource. It continues its harvesting spree, starting with a harmless grass-growing mushroom that safely brings it to level 3 and grants another enhancement point. It does not stop there and devours a bulging-capped mushroom next. Though highly poisonous, it provides enormous experience and a thrilling spicy kick. The system announces that the slime mold has reached level 4 and upgraded poison resistance to level 2. Seeing an entire cluster ahead, it excitedly declares that every last one will become its nutrients. After clearing them all out, the slime mold officially reaches level 5, with its health surging to 79. However, it also reaches the limit for gaining experience from mushrooms for the next 24 hours. Not wanting the leftovers to go to waste, it bundles up the remaining mushrooms, piles them onto its back, and boasts, "I am a mushroom specialist. Carrying poisonous mushrooms gives me food and protection at the same time. I look like a walking street vendor." It smugly compares itself to crabs that use sea anemones to drive away octopuses, convinced the poisonous mushrooms on its back will terrify any enemy. That confidence is quickly shattered by the violent buzz of wings cutting through the air. A swarm of ferocious yellow hornets flies straight toward it, each carrying a piece of fresh meat. The slime mold hurriedly hides in the grass and prays while trembling. "Please do not notice me." Just then, a long tongue shoots out and sweeps one hornet into a mouth. A gigantic frog with mottled skin has appeared. The slime mold stares at this new predator in shock. Instead of fleeing, the hornets immediately counterattack and surround the frog. From its hiding place, the slime mold holds its breath and watches the chaos. Time to enjoy the show. This is getting good. The huge frog repeatedly uses its flexible tongue to snatch targets, but the hornets are no pushovers. Though individually far weaker, their overwhelming numbers let them swarm, sting, and tear at the frog like mad. Watching both sides wear each other down, the slime mold begins calculating. If they all get injured, maybe it can pick up whatever remains. It knows that decomposing animal corpses will surely yield far more experience than dry wood or mushrooms. The battle nears its end as the frog decides to unleash its final move, an all-out strike. Its tongue lashes out like a steel whip, sweeping in a wide arc and catching several yellow hornets at once. Still tucked inside the bushes, the slime mold watches every movement of the victor as it chews its prey. Before the frog can even swallow the hornets, a massive shadow descends from above. A giant snake lunges out to swallow the frog, but a huge bird of prey immediately appears and seizes both the snake and the unfortunate frog in its razor-sharp talons. In that life-or-death moment, the giant bird turns its head and glares directly at the bush where the slime mold is hiding. Faced with that murderous stare, the slime mold trembles and completely abandons any thought of resisting. Please go ahead. This opening area is impossible to play anyway. I give up struggling." Yet the bird merely turns away in contempt, as though a creature so lowly is not even worth noticing. It beats its wings with tremendous force, creating a violent gust that sends the slime mold flying and costs it 30 health. Under the cold moonlight, the slime mold cannot stop trembling as it recognizes the brutal truth about its place in this world. Looking at the food chain diagram, it bitterly sees itself at the very bottom, beneath even insects and small animals. It tries to comfort itself, being at the bottom means nothing even wants to eat it. Lucky, perhaps? Despite reaching level 5 and improving both decomposition and poison resistance, the title of weak little creature remains an undeniable reality. The slime mold sighs in frustration, wondering how it can survive and rise above the dangers ahead. Exhaustion washes over it, and it can only hope this is a dream that will end with it waking in its warm room. The next morning, sunlight filters through the canopy as the slime mold begins a new journey by quietly crawling onto a bright red mushroom in search of nutrients. The slime mold is suddenly struck again and again by jets of green liquid. Its health drops, and it screams in pain. Aya! It hurts, it hurts, it hurts! In the emergency, a new level 1 skill called Burst activates. It lets the slime mold drive its flowing cells in one direction to create a powerful impact. Who is fighting dirty? Show yourself! The culprit is a white snail with a dark red shell. It is casually spraying highly corrosive acid to break down the mushroom. Seeing this, the slime mold angrily scolds it. You stinking snail! You ate my mushroom without permission, and then you drooled all over my face and nearly ruined my looks. That is unforgivable! When the other creature shows no intention of attacking again, the slime mold begins to soften, thinking that perhaps it is simply starving. It decides to be generous. Forget it. I will not make things difficult for you. There are plenty of mushrooms, so sharing a little is fine. Eat as much as you like. The snail visibly brightens and begins enjoying the meal. Watching this, the slime mold starts imagining a beautiful shonen-style friendship in which former enemies become comrades fighting side by side. It dreams of the two leveling up together, becoming a legendary adventuring duo, and even defeating the Demon King. Excited by the idea, it proposes. Hey snail, want to be partners? All the mushrooms you can eat. Deal? But the sincere invitation is answered not with a nod, but with a vicious bite. The snail suddenly lunges forward and sinks its teeth into the slime mold's gelatinous body, making it cry out in agony. After losing 12 health, the slime mold is hit by the cruel reality of this world. That hurts like hell. So monsters in another world do not care about friendship. In nature, you either eat or get eaten. Realizing the opponent is no pushover, it flees at once while the snail is still occupied with the piece it tore away. The filthy snail refuses to let it go and keeps crawling after it. The slime mold panics. It is still chasing me. Is this rotten snail really not going to spare me? With its life hanging by a thread, it spends its final skill point to raise Pulsation to level 4. Determined to escape while it still can, the slime mold pours everything into speeding across the rotten log. But reality refuses to cooperate. Even after 3 exhausting minutes, the pursuer remains right behind it. The slime mold is completely spent, its body stretched long from fatigue. Good grief, it is just as fast as I am. There is no way to shake it. At that moment, the snail makes a strange growling sound. Its neck swells, and it suddenly spits a jet of acid straight ahead. The direct hit causes excruciating pain, strips away 27 health, and leaves the slime mold's body smoking from corrosion. Delirious with pain, the slime mold still tries to assess the situation. Forget everything else. Survive first. The snail now reveals its true nature as a terrifying predator. It opens a huge mouth lined with rows of jagged teeth, growls, and charges. It savagely tears into the slime mold and begins sucking out its bodily fluid. Though completely overpowered, the slime mold grits its teeth and endures. Go ahead and be cruel. I will remember this. A vengeful fungus can wait 10 years. The snail still does not stop, and its eyes glow red with murderous intent. At the brink of death, the slime mold spots a highly poisonous purple mushroom nearby and forms a desperate plan. As the monster opens its mouth for the finishing bite, it shouts, "Take this!" Using every ounce of strength, it activates Burst and launches the poisonous mushroom deep into the enemy's throat. The snail chokes bitterly, able to produce only muffled cries of despair. The mushroom's poison quickly takes effect, making veins bulge across the snail's body. It convulses violently and collapses on the spot. The system announces that the slime mold has defeated its target, reached level 6, and gained another enhancement point. Looking at the motionless corpse, the slime mold sighs in relief. It worked. Just as I thought. Despite all those teeth, it needed acid to dissolve mushrooms before eating them, which means it had no poison resistance. Ha! No matter what, this fungus has defeated its first monster since arriving in another world. Feeling triumphant, it wonders what surprises decomposing a real monster will bring. But the moment it touches the target, it grimaces at the revoltingly sticky snail meat. To steady itself, it pretends the flesh is premium French beef and bravely begins decomposing it. After a single taste, the slime mold immediately vomits because the flavor is far worse than it imagined. Horrified, it realizes the meat is both salty and sour, with a slimy texture exactly like mucus. The system warns that stopping now will waste all its effort and grant no experience whatsoever. Forced to choose between abandoning a valuable resource and enduring the taste, the slime mold hesitates. In the end, its desire to become strong enough to survive defeats its disgust. Swallow it. If you do not eat, you will starve to death. The slime mold steels itself, suppresses its nausea, and continues absorbing the enemy. After a miserable struggle, the long-awaited congratulatory notice finally appears. Decomposition is complete. The slime mold officially reaches level 7 and returns to peak condition. It has sacrificed its sense of taste for levels. Though physically healthy again, the lingering flavor makes it feel absolutely wretched. It notices that it now has 1.4 skill enhancement points, and reviews its current abilities. Bitterly, the slime mold realizes every skill it possesses is geared toward defense or escape. Decomposition is for eating, pulsation and burst are for running, and poison resistance merely helps it endure damage. It screams in despair because it lacks even one true offensive skill to protect itself. However, facing the reality that it is only a weak slime mold, it understands that even with an attack skill, it would not dare confront high-level monsters. After comforting itself, the slime mold prioritizes safety and uses its enhancement point to raise pulsation to level 4. The instant the skill activates, it feels a clear increase in the flow speed of its body. Without hesitation, it races off to test just how fast this new speed allows it to move. The slime mold can now travel at 20 centimeters per second, a figure that leaves it both happy and humiliated. As fast as a crawling snail. Well, I suppose it is better than nothing. A peaceful week passes as it does little besides eat mushrooms and build strength. Looking at the few mushrooms remaining on the rotten log, it grows thoughtful. This life is safe, but my resources are almost gone. There is only enough for 2 more levels. I understand this body now, so it is time to find a new base. Before leaving, the slime mold decides to feast using its scouting skill. By flattening its body and spreading into thin, web-like veins, it can search in several directions at once. The scouting range is proportional to its health and cellular mass. The more health it has, the wider the network can spread. The system immediately delivers a stream of good news as it gathers 3 white mushrooms and 6 small straw mushrooms into its body. Now skilled at controlling its body, the slime mold can move, scout, and decompose prey simultaneously, maximizing its leveling efficiency. After swallowing green mushrooms with white spots, it gains experience and upgrades poison resistance to level 4. But while enthusiastically clearing everything in its path, it suddenly crashes into a hard, round, reddish-brown object. The system warns that the target cannot be decomposed. The collision costs the slime mold 9 health and makes it groan in pain. It is stunned to recognize an old enemy. You again! Before it can recover, a stream of green acid pours down from above. Though it quickly twists aside, the slime mold is still burned and loses another 7 health. It reassures itself. At least this fungus is faster now. The attacker is another snail, but this one's speed and aggression far exceed the previous ones. Despite the difference in strength, the slime mold confidently declares, "You cannot hit me anymore." The instant those words leave its mouth, a tremendous attack explodes against its body, critically injuring it and wiping out 33 health in a flash. With death only a moment away, the slime mold suddenly reverses the situation by ramming a purple mushroom deep into the snail's throat. It turns out the devastating hit was merely bait, allowing the slime mold to close the distance. It knew the enemy could land a blow only if it deliberately allowed it. Once the snail's weakness was understood, finishing it became easier than ever thanks to that information advantage. Decomposition proceeds quickly and grants an enormous amount of experience, shooting the slime mold straight to level 11. Monster flesh still tastes disgusting, but it cannot deny how efficient this food source is for leveling. Burning with confidence, the slime mold continues exploring. Hearing a rustle in the bushes, it assumes another familiar prey has appeared and calls out boldly. "Snail, come out here! Stop hiding from your father!" But the creature that emerges is not a slow snail. It is a gigantic blade-legged centipede covered in hard armor, with dozens of legs as sharp as swords. Faced with the new predator's overwhelming killing intent, the slime mold trembles in terror. "That is a heavyweight! Which way am I supposed to run?" The centipede charges without hesitation and unleashes slashes that cut through the air. Panicking, the slime mold flings poisonous mushrooms in self-defense and begs, "Back off! Do not come any closer!" The old trick no longer works. The sharp legs easily shred the mushrooms into pieces. Pressing its advantage, the centipede uses hundred-legged strangulation, coils tightly around the slime mold, and begins squeezing. The blades on its legs pierce deep into the gelatinous mass, severely deforming its body. Yet even in that situation, the slime mold smiles in triumph. It realizes this is a perfect compatibility advantage. Its fluid body is completely immune to attacks from sharp weapons. No matter how wildly the centipede struggles, the slime mold begins covering and absorbing the predator instead. It happily accepts the experience gift that delivered itself right to its doorstep. After the battle, the slime mold continues onward and encounters more creatures, including beetles and honeybees. It now views the world with the confidence of a hunter, even finding the insects rather delicate, though it regrets that flying targets are still beyond its reach. It still passes over creatures that are unsuitable prey, but its leveling journey proceeds smoothly. Before long, it reaches level 13 with clear improvements to both its stats and skills. While savoring a delicious red mushroom, the slime mold hums cheerfully. "Eating meat really does level me up fast. I am a genius. La la la, this is so tasty." It proudly watches itself climb the food chain chart and decides it is time to change the menu. Frog legs suddenly sound tempting. Standing atop a pile of corpses, it laughs smugly. Once you survive the hardest opening stage, going from 1 to 100 is just a snowball. Nothing can stop this fungus from growing. Ruling another world may actually be possible. Lost in dreams of supremacy, it suddenly stops before a vast pond in the ruined forest. Staring at the clear blue water, the slime mold wonders what interesting things might be beneath the surface. It boldly decides to go down and explore, reasoning that there is only one way to find out. The instant it touches the water, its body swells like a balloon about to burst. It screams in panic. "What is happening? I am swelling up! I feel like I am going to explode!" The system explains osmosis. As a single-celled organism, it is absorbing water until its body expands dangerously. Realizing the danger, the slime mold retreats and temporarily abandons its plan to conquer the ocean. Just then, a gigantic creature with a hard shell rises from the water directly behind it. The slime mold turns around trembling and stammers. "CCC crab!" A massive crab stands before it, continuously blowing bubbles. Rather than fear, its eyes light up as it imagines a fragrant plate of king crab. Juicy claw meat and rich crab roe, now that is premium food. After eating insects for so long, it can finally treat itself. It immediately switches to a sweet voice. "Hello, hello? Let us be friends." The crab ignores it and calmly climbs onto a rock in the pond. Annoyed at being dismissed, the slime mold curses inwardly. "Damn it! It did not fall for that." It tells itself that risking the water for one meal is not worth it, though it still considers poisoning the pond with toxic mushroom fluid. Without warning, the crab turns and fires an extremely powerful bubble water gun. The blast punches through the slime mold's body and instantly removes 25 health. The slime mold gasps. "A crab can use water gun?" Before it can recover, more water shots rain down and take another 10 health. It quickly slips behind a huge tree trunk for cover and evaluates the opponent. Its water gun can damage me. This thing is clearly in a different league from the insects I fought earlier. It shrinks down and stubbornly clings behind the rough bark, planning a battle of patience. Stepping out would make it an instant target. But the crab has no intention of letting its prey escape. With powerful claws and a sturdy shell, the monster advances menacingly toward the tree. The crab suddenly accelerates and charges straight at the slime mold's hiding place with a dash skill. Alarmed by its ferocity, the slime mold cries, "It really plans to eat me? That is brutal!" With nowhere else to go, it gathers its strength and climbs high into the tree. While lamenting its ironic fall from hunter to prey, it calculates that the branches can block the crab's line of fire and neutralize water gun. But bad luck strikes again. A purple spider with glowing red eyes suddenly appears in front of it and hisses threateningly. Already dealing with the enemy below, the slime mold snaps. "You scared me. It is only a spider. Move aside, I am busy right now." When the spider stubbornly blocks the path and keeps provoking it, the slime mold warns, "I advise you not to push your luck. This fungus has eaten plenty of bugs like you." The spider answers with limb slash, swinging a razor-sharp leg through the air and cutting directly into the slime mold. The hit costs 30 health. Stunned, it cries, "Was I not immune to bladed attacks? Is this a game bug? Someone report it to the admin." The level 16 spider monster, armed with level 8 swordsmanship, savagely gnaws at the slime mold. At the critical moment, a powerful water blast shoots upward, the giant crab's bubble water gun. The slime mold realizes in horror that it is trapped between a spider in front and a crab behind, while its health drops by another 17 points. It bitterly complains that misfortune always piles onto the already miserable. Cornered, it can only watch the crab below the tree bombard its position with a rain of water shots. Fortunately, one blast merely grazes the slime mold and strikes the spider instead. The unlucky spider, caught in the crossfire, instantly loses a leg. Enraged at the crab, the spider retaliates with web shot. A stream of white silk launches at high speed and wraps around the crab's hard shell, pinning the aquatic predator to the ground. Before the crab can react, the spider dives down and unleashes a powerful limb slash. The crab quickly activates Shell Shield and blocks the cold blade. A fierce battle erupts. The crab repeatedly snaps its huge claws with wind-splitting force, but the spider proves more skillful, using manipulation web to bind the enemy's weapons. Watching both sides wound each other, the slime mold thinks smugly, "Keep fighting. I will just enjoy the show from here." The crab begins losing ground and foams in pain. The crab still tries to swing its claw for a decisive attack. The pink spider quickly leaps backward to evade the weakened counterstrike. By now, the crab's powerful claws are wrapped in countless layers of silk from manipulation web. The smaller spiders coordinate perfectly, leaving the giant crab completely immobilized and helplessly blowing bubbles. From a distance, the slime mold jokes, "A tied-up crab is basically steamed crab." The spider wins. But just as the spider prepares to enjoy its victory, an unexpected change occurs. Deep blue energy gathers beneath the crab's abdomen and erupts. High-pressure water jets shoot out like sharp blades, sweeping through everything in their path. The pink spider cannot react in time. The powerful water gun sends it flying and cuts it into pieces. The slime mold cries in horror. Its survival instinct was triggered. After releasing that devastating attack, the crab is completely exhausted and lies motionless amid the ruined battlefield and scattered spider remains. Once the noise stops, the slime mold cautiously crawls from hiding. Is it finally done spraying? It uses its mobility skill to approach the weakened prey, adding a mocking remark. "Overheated already, sweetheart? Now it is my turn to butcher you." Yet finishing an enemy with such a hard shell is difficult. The slime mold considers poisonous mushrooms and suffocation, but neither seems practical, and it fears the crab will recover first. At last, it spots a large rock nearby and forms a bold idea. "I will store the rock inside my space first." The system immediately warns that there is not enough storage capacity. The slime mold realizes storage capacity depends on its health, while its mushroom stockpile is taking up too much room. With no other choice, it frantically spits out every mushroom. Time to dump the trash. Clear it all out for the rock. After clearing its storage, it finally takes in the enormous rock. The weight deforms its body, and it groans. I can barely manage this. It is so heavy. Carrying its heavy weapon, the slime mold slowly approaches the exhausted crab. Hey! I have come to collect you! It climbs to a favorable position and suddenly releases the rock from above. The crab struggles, but its cracked shell can no longer resist. The slime mold taunts. Still trying to struggle? A thunderous crash follows as the rock crushes the target instantly. The system announces that the three-way battle has ended with the slime mold's victory. It officially reaches level 14 and gains another skill enhancement point. Laughing proudly, it declares, "Time to eat!" Golden crab meat and roe lie exposed in an irresistible feast. Without hesitation, the slime mold begins eating. Do not mind if I do. It greedily devours piece after piece of plump crab meat. The explosion of fresh flavor moves it nearly to tears. Compared with rotten wood that tastes like moldy bread and snail meat that tastes like mucus, this is the first true culinary paradise it has experienced since reincarnating. Upgrading from fast food to a 5-star buffet, it vows to survive and discover even more delicacies in this world. After cleaning up the very last scraps so none of nature's gift is wasted, the slime mold gives a long, satisfied burp. It is now level 14, with maximum health of 168, and greatly improved decomposition and pulsation. Full and powerful, it decides to conduct a bold experiment. Standing in the grass, it strains with all its might. Its face twists from the effort as it repeatedly shouts. Remembering the crab's water gun, the slime mold believes that if the crab can compress water inside its body and fire it, then a slime mold should be able to do the same. It keeps roaring, "Come out already!" Instead of a powerful jet, tiny droplets of slime weakly squirt from its side. "Not from there!" it complains. More yellow fluid sprays everywhere without the slightest force. Exhausted, the slime mold lies flattened in the puddle of fluid it expelled. Its loose body makes the firing direction impossible to control, and it cannot understand why. At an impasse, it activates level 1 burst. A powerful stream of liquid suddenly shoots out and strikes the crab's corpse. The system announces that burst has evolved into self-fluid shot, allowing it to mobilize body cells and generate tremendous impact. The slime mold is thrilled. No cooldown, and I can fire freely without running out of ammunition. It repeatedly launches yellow jets through the air, quickly raising the skill to level 2. The price is that its health drops with every activation. It realizes its cellular matter is literally combat ammunition, and magical techniques simply are not suited to it. Slightly disappointed, it returns to the orthodox path of growing through decomposition and absorption. Then a new idea appears. If eating other creatures enlarges its body, what happens if it eats part of itself? Eating myself sounds horrifying, everyone. The slime mold finds a detached blob from earlier and decides to use Retrieval. The moment it reabsorbs the lost body part, it recovers all the experience, memories, and health that piece had accumulated. Its maximum health even increases by 30. Strange memories from the separated fragment flood into its mind, which feels miraculous despite the fact that it no longer has a head. The slime mold realizes that severed body parts, though lacking independent consciousness, can still perform decomposition on their own. When retrieved, they transfer all accumulated experience and life force back to it. Discovering what feels like a massive game exploit, it decides to divide itself into many pieces that can work simultaneously, turning itself into a creature with countless mouths. If this really works, my leveling efficiency will skyrocket. It activates division and sacrifices 10 health to create a new body. It notes that both the main body and its clones enter dangerous autophagy if their health falls below 30. With maximum health now at 198, the slime mold believes it can split as much as it wants as long as enough food is available to replenish the cost. It braces itself and pours all its strength into a larger division. After spending another 30 health, a huge blob shoots outward and forms a complete clone. Watching the clone move flexibly under its command, the slime mold imagines wearing a ninja headband and cheers. Did I just learn the shadow clone technique? Carried away, it shouts. Slime-style Naruto has arrived! It points at the first body and orders it to deal with the dead tree, then turns to the next one. And you, handle the mushrooms over there. The clones quickly spread out and professionally harvest resources. The slime mold now stands at level 14 with broadly upgraded skills, including level 6 Decomposition, level 8 Pulsation, and level 2 Self-Fluid Shot, ready to turn the forest into its private leveling farm. After assigning the clones, it finishes the remaining spider meat and restores itself to peak condition. Safety must come first while hunting. Feeling its strength surge, it cannot resist boasting. I feel terrifyingly powerful. I may be getting a little delusional. It confidently tests its defenses and discovers complete immunity to ordinary and advanced physical thrusts and slashes. Its only concern is magic, which it has not yet encountered in this forest. The slime mold wonders whether this world is merely an animal battle simulator, or whether its limited territory has kept it from seeing true mystical powers. Beneath the swamp water, it begins a bold plan by using pieces of its divided body as bait. The gluttonous ghost crabs immediately take the bait. They madly clamp the golden blobs, unaware that death is approaching. The slime mold skillfully lures the crabs out of the water and toward the tree where its main body waits. Once the prey reaches the right position, the slime mold drops a gigantic rock from above. A deafening crash instantly crushes the entire group of crabs. The system repeatedly announces defeated targets and awards massive experience, bringing the slime mold to level 15 with another 0.6 enhancement points. It cheers, 6 ghost crabs caught. After decomposing them and fully recovering, it declares, bring on any crab. I can handle them all. It begins a frantic training session to master ranged attacks. In its imagination, the slime mold transforms into an incredibly cool gunman using self-fluid shot. Yellow streams fire continuously with remarkable speed and power, quickly raising the skill to level 6. After 2 days of brutal training, autophagy has greatly reduced its health, but the slime mold is satisfied. Both power and accuracy have improved. Still, it worries about becoming stronger after reaching the limit of 30 shots per full health bar. A brilliant idea occurs to it. The slime mold adds some extra seasoning by wrapping poisonous mushrooms or sharp stones in mucus before firing, creating projectiles with either poison or tremendous physical damage. While proudly calling itself a genius, it suddenly freezes at strange sounds coming from a hollow in an ancient tree. Sparkling lights appear in the darkness, stirring its curiosity. Is that sound coming from the tree hollow? And what are those flickering lights? It moves closer to investigate, only to face a giant owl radiating a deep blue aura. The slime mold trembles as it understands the truth. Oh no, it finally appeared, a monster that can use magic! Feeling the crushing pressure, it can only scream. Run before there is nothing left of me! Move it, everyone! It searches for an escape route. Yet the owl does not attack and merely watches in silence while activating visual resonance. The monster is actually serving as the eyes and ears of a nearby adventuring party. Through the owl's vision, a young pink-haired girl carefully observes every movement of the slime mold. When a teammate asks whether she found anything, she casually replies, "No. It is only a slightly unusual low-level monster." Meanwhile, the adventurers move deeper into the forest with growing suspicion. Their leading mage mutters, "Strange. We have not seen a single high-level monster on the way." Trying to find an exit, they urge their mount to track the route home. The situation looks grim because their magical link to the guild master has been completely severed. Hiding behind a nearby tree, the slime mold trembles after realizing it was detected. Damn, that gaze saw right through me. It immediately runs for its life, knowing this is an opponent it must never provoke. When a river blocks the way, it wonders how to cross safely. Desperation inspires it to apply physics and the law of momentum. It activates self-fluid shot and fires forcefully backward, turning itself into an arrow that flies across the water. The painful landing costs 80 health, but the goal is achieved. It crawls deeper into the forest, panting. This far away should be safe, right? To recover, it eats nearby rotten branches and reflects. That scared this fungus half to death. I should eat some wood first. I may be strong among creatures of my level, but anything one rank higher could kill me easily. A massive dark shape with glowing red eyes suddenly appears behind it, radiating terrifying killing intent. The slime mold freezes and sweats heavily. The pressure is even worse than the owl's. It slowly turns and realizes the pursuer is not an owl but something enormous. Before it lies a gigantic body part covered in hard scales, resembling a severed finger. The slime mold gasps. A hand, a finger! It realizes this is quite literally a golden finger. Its instincts tell it that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It excitedly imagines decomposing and absorbing the finger of a high-level monster, leaping dozens of levels and perhaps evolving into a far stronger form. The prospect makes it laugh with delight. Ha! It immediately surrounds the giant finger and activates decomposition to devour this enormous source of energy. The slime mold works tirelessly to cover the finger, but instead of a delicious sensation, the system repeatedly pours cold water on its hopes with decomposition failed notices. The level gap is too great for it to affect the target. Its own cells even suffer backlash, causing continuous health loss. Panicking, it uses severance to cut away the part stuck to the finger and drops to the ground in humiliation. Lying flat on a log to recover, it bitterly regrets. My decomposition level is too low. Damn it! I should have spent my skill points here first. Having treasure in front of it but being unable to consume it feels unbearably frustrating. It vows to level quickly in return, but the ground suddenly shakes violently. A pitch-black pit like the mouth of death opens beneath it and swallows everything nearby. In the crisis, it activates self-fluid shot and launches itself onto a nearby ancient tree, escaping the spreading collapse. Looking down at the deep hole from above, the slime mold trembles at its own insignificance in this monster-filled world. It bursts into tears. This world is too cruel. I should go back to being a harmless blob. It resolves to abandon its arrogance. The slime mold chooses the cowardly but safe path of burrowing deep underground to hide and grow. In the darkness below, the giant creature's flickering glow has not vanished. Murderous red eyes appear, releasing pressure so intense that the air seems to freeze. Checking the position map, the slime mold realizes it remains within the range of both the owl and the giant creature. It stops and establishes a temporary base, planning to retrieve its clones the next day. It uses decomposition on an ancient tree trunk and carefully plans the shelter. Make the entrance small, then widen the chamber inside. That way, monsters with slightly larger bodies cannot get in. Putting on an imaginary safety helmet, it enthusiastically declares, "Time to build a house. Let construction begin." Thanks to powerful decomposition, digging the tunnel proceeds smoothly. After hollowing out the interior, the slime mold carefully plants glowing mushrooms as sparkling night lights. Seeing its cozy room complete with stored food and a fresh green leaf bed, it happily collapses to enjoy the result. The project is complete. This temporary base has an ingenious design. A fake entrance covered with poisonous mushrooms misleads enemies, while the real bedroom lies deep inside beyond a narrow tunnel. Leisurely nibbling rotten wood, the slime mold sighs happily. From now on, this fungus has a home too. I feel so safe. The happiness is short-lived. Loud buzzing outside repeatedly disturbs it until it angrily sticks its head out and shouts, "Hey! Keep it down! You are disturbing the residents!" A dense swarm of yellow hornets is flying outside, their wings roaring like fighter jets. Instead of fear, a bold idea enters the slime mold's mind. As one hornet passes, the slime mold fires an accurate shot and kills it instantly for experience. Wearing a sly smile, it casually greets the uninvited guests. "Hello, everyone." The aggressive hornets immediately charge, but the slime mold quickly narrows the tunnel entrance, turning its trap into a genuine meat grinder. It boasts, "Once you enter, you are stuck. There is no escape." The foolish hornets dive inside and become completely covered in slime. The system repeatedly announces defeated targets and rapidly rising experience. After disposing of the vanguard, the slime mold casually tosses their dried corpses outside. It climbs a high branch, follows the surviving hornet's flight path, and spots an enormous nest hanging in the distance. Its gaze sharpens at the new target. Found the hive. Today is a honey buffet. The plan is interrupted when the hornets begin moving in a strange pattern. The slime mold mutters in confusion just before an army as vast as a black cloud charges straight toward it. Though surprised by the overwhelming numbers, it remains arrogant. Come if you want. Your attacks do not work on this fungus. The more, the better. It keeps bragging, unaware that it is about to be roasted alive. Instead of stinging, the hornets surround it in a tight ball and beat their wings to generate frictional heat. The system issues an emergency warning: the extreme temperature is killing its cells. As its health plummets, the slime mold realizes in horror that it is being cooked. They can do that? With death approaching, it activates self-fluid shot and fires a barrage of yellow jets to break the encirclement. But these enemies are no ordinary swarm. A worker hornet quickly deploys a beeswax shield and easily blocks the attack. The slime mold stares in disbelief as its prize technique is completely neutralized. It realizes the forces guarding the hive are far stronger than those outside. A large yellow hornet traces a symbol in the air and activates 7B summoning. A huge magic circle appears and summons numerous hornet warriors equipped with sturdy wax shields, leaving the slime mold stunned by the scale of their army. It realizes these are evolved creatures capable of magic, including yellow hornet soldiers and yellow hornet mages. Faced with their murderous stares, the slime mold immediately activates self-fluid shot. Yellow projectiles tear through the formation and kill several hornets at once. However, the vast number of enemies worries it because each shot consumes cellular matter and continuously drains health. Fortunately, while clinging to the large tree, it uses osmosis to decompose rotten wood and constantly restore what it loses. The hornets begin blocking its attacks with wax shields, leaving the slime mold deeply frustrated as its strikes are repeatedly nullified. Its storage space contains only one remaining stone that can increase the attack's damage. When two hornets dive in to sting, the slime mold smiles wickedly. They delivered themselves to my mouth. Why refuse? It instantly covers them and calmly says, "Then I will gladly accept." As a result, it harvests 4 hornet stingers and 1 sharp needle. Although storage is nearly overloaded, the slime mold immediately wraps the newly acquired needle in mucus and fires it forward. It shatters a wax shield and kills the shield bearer instantly. Shocked by the power, the hornet mage orders a full retreat. Watching the swarm flee through the magic circle, the slime mold mocks them smugly. Running already? Only after losing do you realize who I am? It proudly watches them vanish. Seeing more hornets ahead, it feels not fear but hunger. Yet it badly underestimates an opponent whose strength exceeds imagination. The yellow hornet mage gathers energy, shouts, "Converge!" and waves its staff to cast the basic spell Fire Spark. A huge blazing fireball launches forward. The direct hit leaves the slime mold screaming and dazed. The extreme heat inflicts severe injury and instantly removes 70 health. The hornet mage gives it no time to breathe and summons 2 more fireballs. Clinging to the tree in terror, the slime mold tries to recover while accepting the harsh truth. Fire magic completely counters me, and honeybee attacks make it even worse. Seeing the disadvantage, it decides, if I cannot win, I run. While fleeing, it still fires a counterattack with self-fluid shot, raining yellow projectiles toward its pursuers. But the hornets coordinate perfectly. 2 hornet soldiers rush forward and jointly activate twin beeswax shield. A solid hexagonal barrier appears and completely blocks the barrage. The slime mold cries in frustration. Is this game hacked? Why does the boss have backup? While it searches for an escape, the hornet mage raises its staff again, draws a new magic circle, and activates 7B summoning for reinforcements. The hornets swarm in and surround it, growling for it to come out. Among them, suicide hornets activate their bodies and trigger a chain of powerful explosions against the tree, blasting the slime mold away through smoke and debris. The moment it lands on another branch, the slime mold feels the tree shake violently. The honeybee mage watches coldly from above while workers frantically saw through the branch beneath it. With no support left, the slime mold and the rotten limb fall freely through the air. Standing inside a glowing magic circle, the honeybee mage concentrates all its energy and shouts, Converge! A gigantic fireball forms, radiating enough heat to make the entire forest burn hot. The monster swings its staff and launches the fireball straight at the target. Flames swallow both the slime mold and the worker bees before exploding on impact with the ground. Heat and pressure blast everything away, even terrifying a small frog in the pond into croaking. Thick smoke fills the area. The yellow hornets search everywhere in confusion, but find no trace of their enemy. Sweating nervously, the honeybee mage senses that something is wrong right beneath its nose. The target has vanished without a trace. Suddenly, the slime mold emerges from behind the ancient tree and ambushes the hornets. Laughing wickedly, it covers and devours the remaining workers. Too late. Your main force is outside. A few of you cannot stop this fungus. Behold the perfect shell-shedding strategy. From the beginning, it had secretly spread cellular matter through the tree's core, creating a hidden shortcut directly into the hive. Its escape plan worked perfectly because it sacrificed 150 health to create a decoy clone. While the hornets foolishly concentrated all firepower on the fake body, the true body slipped through the underground route and infiltrated deep into the hive. Upon reaching the target, the slime mold activates scouting and sends countless slimy tendrils through every corner of the enemy stronghold. Its search network quickly covers the entire hive and passes brood chambers full of larvae, but it shakes its head. Incubating eggs? No. I am looking for something better. Deeper inside, it finds a glittering golden honey storehouse whose sweet fragrance makes it drool. So this is where the honey is kept. A more important target lies ahead, so it suppresses its appetite, plans to return later, and crawls into the hive's darkest chambers. The slime mold suddenly bursts from a pile of debris and cheers. Hello, Your Majesty. I have come to visit. Before it is a gigantic, plump, golden queen bee busy eating. At the same time, fully armed bee warriors with glowing red eyes close in around the intruder. Seizing the opportunity, the slime mold lunges forward and binds the queen's huge body with slimy tendrils. It orders the shield and spear soldiers. Do not move. Your queen is in my hands. The queen cries out in pain, throwing the army into angry chaos. When the bees refuse to yield and keep approaching, the slime mold coldly declares, "Negotiations are over. Time to send your guest away." With those words, it kills the queen directly before the workers' eyes. The workers can only cry out in shock before the entire hive collapses into disorder. Without their commander, the bees fall one after another. Standing by the queen's corpse in its small form, the slime mold calmly concludes, "The queen is like the mother machine. Kill her, and all 7 bee units naturally fall apart." Watching the warriors convulse and die, it reflects, "I wanted to talk with them, but even with a social structure, low-level monsters still act only on instinct." Under the dim moon, the system repeatedly congratulates the slime mold for clearing the hive and reaching level 21. After absorbing massive nutrients, its health temporarily exceeds the maximum and reaches 918. It still carries the weak plant title, while Pulsation is maxed and Decomposition rises to level 7. The slime mold examines a new skill called Central Command, but adding points fails because it has no subordinates. It is disappointed that its racial skill Decomposition can improve only through proficiency, yet storage has expanded significantly, and is now packed with premium honey jars that each restore up to 400 health. Looking at the yellow hornet corpses scattered underfoot, the slime mold suddenly grows thoughtful. Why do I suddenly feel so evil? In its imagination, a little crab named Market Crab sits sadly waiting for his father. Why is Dad not home yet? He promised to play games with me tonight. He lied again. In the little crab's memories, Crab Dad is a model father, always busy serving customers and supporting the family. Crab Mom gently comforts the child. Your father works hard for us. You must understand him. Late at night, when her husband still has not returned, Crab Mom worriedly takes the child to search. It is so late and he has not called. Did he get drunk on the way home? Come on, let us find your father. Mother and child walk while singing softly so they do not disturb the neighbors. Then they spot a familiar figure staggering at the end of the road, and the little crab cries out joyfully. It is Dad! The child runs ahead. Our home is this way. You are going in the wrong direction. Crab Mom smiles and urges him to help his father, assuming he drank too much. But when the shadow slowly turns, a blue-green slimy monster with glowing red eyes appears and coldly says, "Kid, your father just went into my pot. He tasted excellent." The mother screamed tears through the quiet night. Faced with the cruel image of destroying a happy family, the slime mold cries in horror. "Ah! I have become the villain!" It sighs and pushes away the wandering thoughts. "I am still a person, just a slightly different species. In this world where the strong devour the weak, refusing to hunt means becoming prey. That natural law cannot be changed, and hunting and decomposition are its only path to survival." It tells itself that material survival comes before moral reflection. The slime mold decides to retrieve the divided bodies released that morning and see what surprises await. Moving through the foliage, it suddenly notices flickering firelight in the distance. Curious, it approaches and gasps. "Could there be humans? Let this fungus take a look." Hiding behind a bush, it confirms in shock. "They really are humans!" An adventuring party is resting beside a campfire. A man speaks to the girl resting on a boar's back, remarking that she is bold to lie there. She is near Rose, a C-rank adventurer from the 100 Arts Guild. She casually replies, "Not at all. When relaxed, little Steelback's fur is very soft. You worked hard today, and tomorrow we will need you to find our way out." Nearby, Captain Hector, a worried B-rank adventurer, says, "We intended to search for the guild master, yet we became lost ourselves. As captain, I cannot escape responsibility." Nia and Kun apologize, while Kun, a B-rank mage holding a spell book, reassures him that magical communications are severed, no high-level monsters have appeared, and even the forest has become a maze. No one could have predicted so many strange phenomena, so Captain Hector should not blame himself. She adds that although they have not found the guild master, there is no need for excessive worry. He is one of the continent's 3 strongest fighters. They only need to escape and report to the church. Kun admits, however, that the guild master has been missing for 2 years. Rumors say the church suspects the 100 Arts Guild, and his disappearance may involve a secret mission from the Pope. 10 years ago, Guild Master Ghost founded the 100 Arts Guild on ideals of equality across race and class, with all resources shared fairly. Its rapid growth made the church jealous. Hector recalls that Ghost entered this swamp forest 2 years ago and was never heard from again. Without the Guild Master's protection, the guild gradually fractured and faced suppression. Hector owes Ghost his life, so he formed this party to search for him and sincerely thanks Nia and Kun for being the only ones to answer the call. Nia sighs that without Ghost founding the guild, someone with a minority profession like hers could never have become an adventurer. Lazing beside the fire with her spell book, Kun teases. "Really? You can control mid-level monsters now. Plenty of guilds want you. Even if something happened to Ghost, you would have other homes." Nia angrily snaps. "Kun, shut up and sleep." Seeing her furious, Kun backs down. Sorry. Pretend I never said it." Hidden nearby, the slime mold listens closely and thinks all this church and guild drama sounds like a tedious television series. Still, recognizing valuable information about human society, it takes a risk and extends its body like a listening tube. It activates mobility and stretches its body toward the adventurers to hear more clearly. Kun proves to be a sensitive mage. He immediately casts Ice Spike, sending a sharp pillar of ice from the ground straight through the slime mold's body. The system issues an emergency warning. Its frozen state reduces movement speed by 90%. Kun calmly lies back down. "Do not worry. I handled it." Hector remains alert and asks where it is. Nia immediately calls her mount, Little Steelback, and the ferocious boar charges toward the ice pillar. It sniffs the trembling slime and suddenly opens its mouth to bite. The unexpected attack terrifies the slime mold. The beast brutally tosses it into the air. Seeing the mouthful of sharp teeth waiting below, the slime mold screams in despair. "I am finished. I am really becoming minced slime." At the critical instant, Nia hurriedly intervenes. "Little Steelback, do not eat it. Do not kill indiscriminately. It is only a harmless low-level monster passing by. Let it go." Obeying its master, the beast reluctantly spits the slime mold onto the ground. Nia gently picks it up, gazes affectionately, and asks, I feel as though I have seen you somewhere. You seem familiar. Would you like to form a monster contract with me, little one? Moved by her kindness, the slime mold nearly cries. She is an angel. I finally found my otherworld bond. Yes, yes. But Captain Hector pours cold water on the moment. Nia, stop fooling around. We must find a way out tomorrow. This is no time to collect monsters or waste magic on a low-level slime. The slime mold rages inwardly. Who are you calling a slime? I am a noble slime mold, you blind fool. Nia reluctantly puts it down. All right, I understand. Realizing no one can hear its inner voice, the slime mold feels dejected. They cannot understand me talking. To prove it is not ordinary, it gets an idea and uses mobility to reshape its body into complex tendrils that draw on the ground. The strange transformation amazes Hector and Nia. Nia, look! What is it doing? The slime mold thinks smugly. Now you must realize this fungus is an intelligent life form. Reality is harsher. Looking at the drawings, Hector marvels. Is it going to the bathroom? What a high-quality slime! Even Nia is confused. I am not sure either. Crushed by the misunderstanding, the slime mold realizes people in this world do not know Chinese. Communication has failed. Fearing that continued attempts will make them view it as a bizarre monster and kill it, the slime mold retreats. Before disappearing into the darkness, it comforts itself that at least it now knows humans truly exist here. Under the crescent moon, it quietly returns to the old forest, praying not to encounter the terrifying owl. To recover its separated bodies quickly, it activates Central Command. A deep blue radar network spreads from its body and sends detection signals through the silent night. The waves quickly lock onto the frequencies of clones scattered across the area. The slime mold cheers at the miraculous skill, which pinpoints every target. It wastes no time and races through the bushes, feeling the connection grows stronger ahead. Seeing a gigantic clone clinging to a tree, it gasps. That is huge. How much did this thing decompose? It immediately uses Retrieval and absorbs the body. The system delivers continuous good news as experience and health soar beyond the maximum. Retrieving more fragments raises poison resistance to level 8 and brings the slime mold to level 22. The happiness does not last. One clone's signal suddenly weakens, making it anxious. The signal is fading. My precious resources! Who dares steal them? It frantically searches and discovers an intolerable scene beside a mushroom patch. A snail is casually sucking on one of its divided bodies with a mouth full of teeth. Seeing its hard-earned gains stolen, the slime mold roars. Get lost! It immediately unleashes a powerful self-fluid shot and blasts the greedy snail away. Finding a small clone trembling atop a mushroom, the slime mold nearly cries from heartache. There. My precious baby has suffered. Daddy is here to take you home. But a long red tongue suddenly lashes out and sweeps the unfortunate clone into the mouth of a gigantic green frog. Furious, the slime mold shouts. You ate my baby! Blood must be repaid with blood, you rotten frog! It activates self-fluid shot and launches a sharp stone straight into the enemy's face. Seeing the hit land, it thinks smugly. That settles it. At my current strength, I might even be able to challenge that huge snake-tailed bird. Its smile quickly disappears when the frog remains unharmed and casually holds the stone in its mouth. The monster dives into the water to escape, and the slime mold hurriedly gives chase. You think you can run? It rushes over and grips a rock at the shoreline, determined not to let the enemy escape. The frog dives deep into the clear water. The slime mold fires shot after shot, but every projectile merely creates harmless ripples on the surface. Staring at the calm pond, it grits its teeth. How frustrating! A gentleman can wait 10 years for revenge. Just you wait. The frog suddenly jumps back onto land, and the slime mold cheers. It came back out. Right, frogs are amphibians. It has to surface for air. This time you are dead. Yet the monster is no easy prey. It immediately activates All-Out Strike and opens its tooth-filled mouth to attack. The slime mold springs upward with a smooth dodge, causing the frog to bite empty air, then instantly counters with self-fluid shot. A stone embeds itself in the frog's eye, severely injuring it and leaving its mouth hanging open in pain. The slime mold extends part of its body around an ancient tree trunk to steady itself. It suddenly realizes. So this frog is opening its mouth to lure me into the water. Not a chance. Reflecting on the high battle, the slime mold understands that who is hunter and who is prey is never certain outside. It needs to be more humble. Though blind in one eye, the frog shrieks and charges madly. The slime mold prepares another volley, only to panic. Oh no, I am out of stones! In the emergency, it decides to attack first and think later. It gathers its strength and sprays a massive volume of golden slime at the enemy. The frog is completely coated, yet still opens its mouth wildly, determined to swallow the target. The slime mold gasps when the monster retains astonishing jumping power despite being covered in mucus. The frog leaps into the tree and shoots out its long red tongue, wrapping tightly around the slime mold. The slime mold realizes in horror. I am finished! I am going to become stretched slime jelly! The monster pulls hard, drawing its body out like a rope. It clings to the bark with all its strength to avoid being dragged into the deadly mouth. As the tongue pulls it away, the slime mold screams, I am done for! Done for! Just before falling into the monster's mouth, it grabs a branch and drives it straight into the frog's open jaws. The piercing strike throws the frog backward into the deep pond. Exhausted, the slime mold clings to the tree, sweating after its narrow escape. That was dangerous! It looks down at the pond where the enemy's corpse slowly sinks into darkness and sighs regretfully. What a waste! The body fell into the water, so I cannot decompose it. Before it can recover, a gigantic white beam shoots upward at light speed and splits the ancient tree beneath it in two. The destructive force hurls a huge section of wood into the quiet night sky. From the swamp emerges a terrifying pale-skinned entity with blood-red eyes, using the skill Holy Fall. The giant monster radiates overwhelming killing intent and stares at the tiny creature suspended above. The slime mold gasps. What is that? Did the frog evolve into a great white shark? The pale monster with shark-like teeth lets out a piercing roar and fires a glowing red blood whip that knocks it away. While falling, the slime mold hurriedly stretches its body and catches a branch to save itself. It swings rapidly from branch to branch like a ninja, reminding itself that a wise fungus does not suffer a loss right in front of its eyes. The frog's second form is far too bizarre. Though supposedly a low-level monster, it radiates tremendous killing intent, so the slime mold decides to leave while it still can. The monster lashes out with blood whip and instantly removes 199 health. The system warns that a foreign substance has entered its body and is decomposing it. The slime mold cries, "That is dirty! High-level poisonous blood? Stop hacking the game, you frog!" The monster follows with tongue whip, launching its enormous tongue toward the slime mold. The tongue wraps around it and drags it straight into the swamp before it can react. The physical damage costs only 1 health, but the slime mold panics when it realizes it has fallen into the water. The system repeatedly warns of osmotic imbalance and orders it to leave the water immediately. Below, the frog monster opens its mouth wide and performs a deadly bite, swallowing the slime mold whole. The moment it enters the dark mouth, it frantically activates mobility, but it is already too late. Damage notices appear continuously, each removing 33 health and causing unbearable pain. Bitterly, it realizes the monster's single opening attack exhausted all its strength, leaving too little energy to divide and escape. With death approaching, the slime mold struggles through gastric fluid while the enemy croaks triumphantly. I am cornered. Then I will go all in. It makes a mad decision. Instead of resisting, it frantically absorbs all surrounding water and fluid. Osmotic imbalance makes its body expand terrifyingly. It roars, "Go ahead and eat me! I will make you burst from overeating!" To stay alive during the extreme expansion, it consumes every jar of hornet honey in storage, each restoring 400 health. Its health and volume soar uncontrollably before the frog can react. After a horrific explosion, the frog monster is completely destroyed. The slime mold has become an enormous green mass towering over the swamp forest like a mountain. The system repeatedly congratulates it for defeating the monster, gaining massive experience, and decomposing a foreign substance to acquire a new antibody. Looking down at its colossal body, it gasps, "I became enormous!" The system confirms that it has gained advanced osmotic regulation. Its current health reaches a record 11,870 out of 924, though the excess will disappear after 1 hour. The slime mold realizes this giant body contains enough cellular fluid to regulate osmotic pressure, an unexpected reward. Watching the countdown tick away, it knows it must make full use of this temporary achievement. Towering like an imagined Godzilla, the slime mold smiles meaningfully. Want to play a Godzilla-sized sticky snowball game? As large as a moving island, it sweeps through the swamp, repeatedly receiving successful decomposition notices and abundant experience. It dives underwater, targets schools of fish, and tries to seize them. Its size lets it catch prey easily, but it soon discovers the inconvenience. Even with osmotic adaptation, water resistance is too strong. Every step is difficult. The fish monsters are too agile, and chasing them here is not worth the time. It changes territory. Back to shore. Using mobility, it drags its enormous body out of the water. Along the way, it finds 2 small otter-like monsters calmly eating fish. Wanting to frighten them, the slime mold appears and says, "Hello, little ones. I have come to share your meal." The huge mass terrifies them so badly they can barely stand. Without ceremony, it declares, "I am taking the fish," and casually steals their dinner, leaving the poor creatures covered in golden slime. Seeing their pitiful faces, it feels a pang of sympathy. There are plenty of resources, so there is no need for needless killing. I will spare these cute monsters. This proves I still have a human soul. That mercy quickly fades when it spots another target nearby. Oh, there is one here too. It is a small squirrel with fiery eyes and a blazing tail. Rather than fear the slime mold, it bares its teeth and threatens it with sharp squeaks. The squirrel suddenly launches a tremendous fire attack called Flame Bullet. The fireball explodes against the slime mold, repeatedly draining its health. Each hit removes 60 health, making it howl. Fire magic deals super effective damage to this fungus. Realizing the squirrel truly intends to fight, it contracts its body, releases frightening pressure, and coldly says, "Cute, are you? Let me roast you and see whether you are still cute." The slime mold quickly finishes decomposing the prey. The system repeatedly announces the defeat and awards abundant experience. Then gray tentacles shoot from its body like blades, attacking a gigantic lizard wandering nearby. The slime mold transforms into a towering ancient tree with a brightly glowing core in its chest. The lizard growls angrily, opens its mouth, and spits blue-green acid at the opponent. The hit corrodes the slime mold's wood and stone body, making it smoke heavily. Roaring madly, the lizard uses savage collision and charges with destructive force. The slime mold swings huge tentacles in a wind-splitting sweep to stop the direct impact. Sharp tentacles fire from every direction, surrounding and pinning the lizard to the ground. A pointed branch pierces its shoulder, leaving it unable to resist. White fungal spores immediately sprout from the wounds and all over the lizard's body, multiplying at a terrifying rate. They bloom simultaneously and pierce its thick skin from within. Even inside its enormous eye, dense red growths emerge. The monster screams as its vision is destroyed. Before it can recover, the giant slime mold lashes its tail and hurls the lizard dozens of meters like a toy. Badly wounded amid the rubble, the stubborn lizard rises and activates heat sensing, extending its tongue to locate the opponent through thermal radiation in the air. Once it finds the target hidden behind camouflage, it gathers power in its hind legs and leaps into the air for a lethal tail strike. From beneath the debris, the slime mold launches a massive spear of liquid that pierces the lizard from below. The predator collapses on rotten wood while green slime spreads over every piece of flesh, corroding and decomposing it. Through its final thermal vision, the lizard sees the slime mold as a colossal entity whose energy blankets a vast part of the forest, making resistance meaningless. A great wave of slime crashes down and swallows it completely. With just over 6 minutes left on the countdown, the system reports successful decomposition of another foreign substance and activation of an antibody. The slime mold wonders about the mysterious substance, then dismisses it. Forget it. I should eat my fill before the power expires. The gigantic green sphere rolls wildly through the ancient forest, crushing and devouring every tree in its path during the final minutes. Yet something feels wrong. By now I should have crossed dozens, if not 100, plots of land. Looking around, it finds the forest still as dense as before and gasps. Why is it still so thick? Wait, the ground is moving. At that moment, a gigantic black pillar pierces the night sky, surrounded by complex glowing magic circles beneath the moon. A blinding flash passes as the slime mold watches a massive spell formation and earth-shaking explosion overhead. Huh! Am I seeing things? The system gives a final notice that excess health will now be cleared. As time expires, its giant body begins deflating and releases clouds of white vapor. In an instant, the giant mass vanishes, leaving the slime mold small, golden, and one-eyed again. It sighs. The power-up ended, and I am back to being a tiny lump. A results screen appears. Wow, a settlement screen! This brought me to level 49. It gains the achievement Weak Creature Lord and maximum health of 2,891, then wonders. What does Weak Creature Lord even mean? Does that make me the boss of the kindergarten? The system warns that nutritional overload prevents experience gain for 1 hour and orders it to clean its cluttered storage. Looking at the mess inside, it groans. I should clean the slime storage first. It is larger now, but all this junk is nauseating. It strains and vomits out piles of bones, rotten wood, and rubbish. After the struggle, it sighs in relief. Everything is out. This fungus feels much lighter. While wondering what to do without experience gain, it receives a new notice. At level 60, it may choose a class change or evolution. Its eyes shine. A class change or evolution, so that is how otherworld monsters become stronger. It dreams of a qualitative transformation, like an animal becoming a spirit. Imagining a mighty humanoid slime mold, it grows excited. In that form, this fungus could learn magic and dominate the other world. Ha! It is already boasting before evolving. While lost in dreams of supremacy, harsh buzzing sounds overhead. Looking up, it sees dark shapes racing through the ancient canopy. On closer inspection, they are the magic-using yellow hornets from before. Not wanting to miss a chance to learn about the enemy, the slime mold follows. It launches itself through the gloomy forest after the swarm. Eventually, it discovers an area packed with enormous hives and dense armies of yellow hornets. The scale astonishes it. The hives form an entire region. This is collective evolution. Suddenly, gigantic feet slam down and crush the hives. The hornets pour out screaming, but the creature pays them no attention. It calmly opens its mouth, eats the delicious larvae, and says with satisfaction, "Tasty. Time for a free larva buffet." Hiding at a distance, the slime mold recognizes a familiar creature. Is that the strange bird from before? The color is a little different. It still remembers losing all will to survive under that creature's gaze and feels lucky it was ignored. The monster is a gigantic bird whose tail is an independent venomous snake. The hornets attack madly, but their efforts are completely ineffective. At last, they use overwhelming numbers to surround the enemy in a huge ball. The monster shakes its body powerfully and throws the clinging hornets away. Dozens of yellow hornet mages activate glowing magic circles at once. The monster tilts its head in confusion, then a blazing rain of fireballs falls from above, creating chain explosions that shake the forest. Watching from behind a rock, the slime mold marvels. Did the Hornet Guild turn to the dark side? The giant bird burns bright red under the flames, with white smoke rising from its body. Instead of dying, its eyes flash with killing intent, and it begins absorbing the heat from the fire. The hornets are stunned that the enemy remains standing. Now completely red, the monster shakes itself and releases a tremendous shockwave that collapses many surrounding hives. Using heat sensing, it locates targets through the smoke. Its snake head stretches out and bites viciously, crushing hornets before they can do more than scream. Hornet corpses rain down as the slime mold studies the enemy's strategy. So its body turns red after absorbing flame. It also knows that killing the swarm means killing the whole colony. Its intelligence is not low. And look at all those dropped ingredients. Time to harvest. Suddenly, the adventuring party follows the magical disturbance to the area. Kuin asks suspiciously whether the reaction came from only a mid-level monster. Nia identifies it as a tailed rock, while Captain Hector warns, "Do not be careless. From its appearance, it has already reached Lord class. Those are the humans from before. Are they hunting this strange bird?" Hiding behind a rock, the slime mold watches the familiar party confront the tailed rock. Captain Hector immediately orders, "Kuin, use high-level ice magic to kill it. I will buy you time to chant." Gripping his staff, Kuin replies confidently, "Then I leave the hard work to you, Captain. One spell will kill it." The monster instantly strikes with icy sharp talons. The fierce exchange begins, and Hector is shocked by the enemy's increased strength. This thing is incredibly strong. After the high-level monsters disappeared, it must have eaten huge amounts of prey and evolved. To break the stalemate, Hector uses reflective shield to repel the attack. The monster is pushed back, but its snake head immediately lunges from behind with a poison-filled mouth, trying to swallow the captain. Fortunately, Nia commands her mount in time. The armored boar rams the monster's huge body and violently staggers it. Hector narrowly escapes death, sweating from the shock. The tailed rock wildly swings its snake tail in preparation for another devastating attack. Its body glows and suddenly releases overwhelming firepower. It is the high-level spell False Dragon Breath. The terrible heat makes the night sky seem to burn. Seeing the giant flames approach, Kuin shouts in panic, "No! That is high-level magic!" At the critical moment, Kuin slams his staff into the ground. "We can only defend first." A magic circle appears, followed by another high-level spell. Ice Wall activates, raising a gigantic barrier that blocks the roaring serpent of flame. Hiding nearby, the slime mold trembles and sweats at the destructive power. "At this level of magical combat, even my giant form would only be a target. The fire is too powerful." The ice begins melting and shatters under the extreme pressure. Kuin grits his teeth but finally exhausts himself. He bitterly realizes, "Damn it! My chant was consumed. I cannot use another high-level spell for a while." The slime mold watches longingly. "I wish I could use Palm Blast too. Then I would be unstoppable." Hector seizes the moment and orders, "Nia, have the ironback beast support me." Nia answers immediately. The armored boar uses sweeping quill shot, launching a rain of sharp spines into the monster's body. Immediately afterward, Hector roars, releases 100% of his strength, and leaps high into the air. The tailed rock can only make a confused croak as it notices the spines buried throughout its body. Hector pours everything into the jump, raises his weapon, and shouts, "Meteor Hammer!" The 1,000-pound blow crashes straight onto the monster's head, creating a terrifying shockwave that splits the ground. Seeing the bird head crush beneath the hammer, Hector sighs in relief. It is finished. Watching from afar, Kuin marvels at the leader's ability. That tailed rock already had the strength of a high-level monster. Captain Hector truly is dependable. Hidden behind a nearby rock, the slime mold admires human battle tactics. With teamwork, 1 + 1 truly becomes greater than 2, allowing the weak to defeat the strong. "This is my chance. I should cling to their thighs and become their pet." Hector turns to Nia. "Try reading the corpse's memories and see whether there are clues about the guild master." Tragedy strikes without warning. The tailed rock snake head suddenly stretches out and sinks its fangs into Hector's shoulder, making him scream. At the same time, the supposedly dead bird head miraculously regains consciousness. Kuin reacts instantly with Ice Spike, piercing the snake's neck to free Hector. He warns, "The tailed rock snake head carries petrifying venom. Give the captain a purification potion now." Nia frantically throws Hector the bottle. "Here, Captain!" Trembling, he pours it into his mouth, but the rescue comes too late. He realizes in horror. My throat is turning to stone. The poison spreads like wildfire, transforming his skin and muscles into gray rock. In an instant, the brave captain becomes a motionless stone statue in the ancient forest. Nia collapses and cries desperately. See Captain Hector! Kun sees that the situation is out of control, grits his teeth, and pulls her up. There is no time to grieve. Nia, run! When she hesitates, Kun snaps. It is absorbing the captain's life energy and will recover completely soon. We must retreat now! The tailed rock emits a threatening croak, its red eyes coldly following the two humans fleeing for their lives. Kun hurriedly drinks a mana potion and runs through the forest with Nia. He realizes he completely misjudged the tailed rock. It has actually reached high-level monster lord class. Kun reassures Nia that if they escape within a week and ask the church to send a royal priest, Hector may still be saved. But the monster recovers at an unimaginable speed, forcing Kun to assume command and fight for a way out. The gigantic tailed rock lets out murderous cries and releases pressure that crushes down on the two humans. In panic and tears, Nia asks Kun what they should do as hope begins to disappear. Kun firmly tells her to preserve her magic for finding a way out of this broken place, leaving everything else to him. Gripping his staff, he casts the intermediate spell Ice Gatling. Countless sharp ice crystals fire like machine gun rounds and embed themselves in the monster's glowing red scales, making it roar in pain. The barrage continues, but the tailed rock does not retreat. It gathers enormous heat in its blazing bird head. Realizing a dangerous high-level fire spell is coming, Kun shouts for Nia to ignore everything and keep running. Nia looks back in shock, unable to understand what her companion intends. Kun knows that without someone staying behind to restrain the monster, either of them will escape. He turns, smiles at Nia, thanks her for the mana potion, and pours all his remaining power into one final spell. He activates the high-level spell Glacial Barrier, raising a vast wall of ice between himself and Nia to stop the violently erupting flames. Nia calls Kun's name in despair, but only his fading silhouette remains behind the frozen wall as fire engulfs it. Swallowing her tears, she urges little Steel back to run faster so his sacrifice will not be wasted. Nia resolves to escape at any cost and report the strange forest to the church. She drives little Steel back through the night while calling out repeatedly. Mi Ming! Mi Ming! Seeing the familiar owl overhead, she sighs in relief. Little Mi Ming, our magical link broke earlier. I thought something happened to you. With your vision, finding the exit will be easier. Before she can finish, Nia freezes in horror. When little Mi Ming lands on a branch, it is no longer the gentle spirit beast she knew. It suddenly enters holy fall state, its entire body radiating eerie blue magic while its eyes transform into frightening crosses. Nia trembles. Little Mi Ming! A teleportation magic circle is visible in its pupils. At the same time, in an unfamiliar sealed space filled with monster corpses and broken weapons, a man in white armor sits in thought. He is Ghost, the long-missing guild master of the 100 Arts Guild. Before him, the system flashes red warnings about exhaustion and demands repayment of the mana he has borrowed for so long. Ghost sighs wearily. I know. The surrounding monster corpses immediately shake and merge into an enormous mass of flesh. The evil entity reveals itself as Kroto Jirawa, king of the swamp forest, covered in countless heads and glowing red eyes. It mocks Ghost for muttering to his so-called system. The monsters know the secret of people transported from other universes and deliberately lured him here to eliminate him, but never expected him to be so terrifyingly strong. Kroto Jirawa offers him one final chance to join them instead of becoming a dried corpse. After a second of silence, Ghost grips his gigantic mace and answers coldly. Let me think. Having finished thinking, he swings a thunderous blow that sends the monsters flying. Kroto Jirawa only laughs arrogantly and declares itself immortal inside this eternal barrier. Kroto Jirawa's flesh gathers into a threatening giant mass. From black smoke it taunts. No matter how strong you are, Ghost, you remain mortal. Your breathing reveals that you are reaching your limit. Since you refuse to cooperate, die. Even with death approaching, Ghost remains astonishingly calm. He quickly accesses his storage space and removes an exquisitely crafted golden bottle. Without hesitation, he hurls the treasure at the enemy. The bottle shatters and releases a golden liquid called true holy water. The monster stares in confusion before a blinding light suddenly erupts. Golden flames rain down from above, making Proto-Jirawa scream in unbearable pain. Ghost coldly explains that true holy water burns the soul itself, making physical immortality meaningless. Even so, he regrets using a weapon he had reserved for the true mastermind. Proto-Jirawa curses madly while dying. Damn you, Ghost! Even the angels have fallen. Where did you get this holy water? The monster keeps screaming as sacred flames consume its gigantic body. The system suddenly issues a warning. A high-energy reaction has been detected and the target is about to revive. Before Ghost can react, earth-shaking energy explodes and throws the mass of flesh into the air. Ghost reasons that true holy water burned the soul, so recovery should be impossible unless an unforeseen variable exists. Proto-Jirawa reveals its holy fall form, a bright red sphere with one gigantic eye and countless grotesque tentacles. It laughs proudly. Ha! You nearly killed me. You did not expect this, did you, Ghost? Your final method has no effect on me. Ghost demands. You adapted that quickly? Are you using mods? Proto-Jirawa smugly recalls when Ghost used Dragon Emperor's finger to sever the Dragon Emperor's finger. At the time, it could not understand how Ghost's technique cut the Dragon Emperor or why the finger vanished without a trace in the swamp. A weak little monster later touched the finger and broke its inviolable magical property, allowing Proto-Jirawa to locate and retrieve it. It realizes Ghost had coated his weapon in true holy water and threw the finger far away to avoid backlash. By adapting to the holy water residue on the Dragon Emperor's finger, Proto-Jirawa gained absolute adaptation. It roars. Had you used this power on me earlier, my soul would have been destroyed. Out of tricks, sweetheart? Time to die. A gigantic stone hand rises from the earth and crashes toward Ghost with thunderous, crushing force. The impact creates a horrifying explosion, leaving shattered earth and debris scattered everywhere. Ghost collapses in pain. His left arm is completely ruined and cannot move. Proto-Jirawa mocks his stubbornness, saying he suffers for nothing and asking whether he still dreams of an impossible comeback. Beneath his iron mask, Ghost silently admits his mistake in not using all the true holy water from the start. High above, Dragon Emperor's finger descends at terrifying speed to finish the exhausted hero. Proto-Jirawa says farewell, declaring that even with a mysterious system, Ghost cannot win while standing alone against the entire church. As the finger of death draws within inches, Ghost's eyes blaze with determination. He opens the system interface and pulls out an ancient scroll radiating deep blue magic. The item is called the Demon King's Favor, an old parchment covered in sinister ancient symbols. When activated, it erupts in brilliant white light and dense magical codes, preparing an all-out attack. Proto-Jirawa panics upon recognizing a demon contract. What? A real demon summoning license? You hypocrite! You oppose our plan while secretly dealing with demons. Desperate, it begs its master. Your Holiness, save me! The answer is a gigantic hand colored like a cosmic nebula descending from above. The ultimate skill Fist of Oblivion activates and crushes Proto-Jirawa into sparkling dust in an instant. From the darkness steps a terrifying skeletal figure in a purple cloak, with long horns and glowing violet eyes. He looks meaningfully at Ghost and greets him. Hello, old acquaintance. It has been a long time. How have you been? The Demon King laughs at Ghost's miserable condition, remembering his first failed attempt to descend into this world. He offers a tempting repayment. I will lend you my power. With it you will be strong enough to sweep away that trash. What do you say, Otherworlder? Ghost immediately tears up the contract before him and says coldly, We are even. Rejected outright, the Demon King clicks his tongue regretfully but leaves a chilling prophecy. What a heartless man. Let me give you some advice. I have already seen death on your face. A vast black-purple vortex appears and draws the Demon King back where he belongs. As the dust settles beneath the crescent moon, the system displays its results. The target has been completely erased but grants no experience, and the seal at the site is officially lifted. Ghost is utterly exhausted, with 0 mana remaining and health still falling from the side effects of borrowed power. He collapses, breathing heavily in terrible pain. Did summoning the coordinates of hope succeed? Connect me to his system so we can speak. The notice destroys his hopes. Connection failed. Otherworldly systems cannot link to one another. Meanwhile, the slime mold tries to cover Captain Hector's body and use decomposition, but the system repeatedly reports failure because the target is no longer organic matter. Faced with reality, it gasps. He really turned to stone. This old man must be the finest exhibit in the forest. Helplessly crawling away from the statue, it notices Hector's abandoned weapon and thinks, Sir, since you no longer need it, may I take this equipment? It wraps the mace in slime and even says, Thank you. Stealing equipment while thanking the owner, this slime mold is truly shameless. It quickly leaves, calculating that helping the humans in trouble might let it travel with them back to a human town. Heading toward the gigantic ice wall Kun created, it thinks. This is the mage's wall. They must be somewhere nearby. It sneaks around the back, hoping for a favorable outcome. Hee. Maybe he killed that ostrich, and I can pick up some loot. Greedy though it is, caution wins. It activates search to scout first. Safety comes above all. The moment its scouting tendrils touch the ice, it sees a horrifying scene on the other side. The tailed rock is still alive. The monster's eyes suddenly flash demonic red, making the slime mold tremble. What is going on? Did someone else fall? That bird is still growing stronger. Do not tell me the remaining girl has become its victim too. Elsewhere, the owl Ming dives like an arrow toward Nia. Realizing her spirit beast is no longer her companion, Nia grits her teeth and orders. Little Ming is no longer our ally. Attack! The armored boar immediately activates sweeping backspine shot and launches countless sharp quills into the sky to stop the enemy's dive. Ming's beak suddenly extends and sharpens like a steel blade. Spinning at extreme speed, it uses Iron Talon Gale. A gigantic whirlwind forms and pulls everything nearby into a deadly vortex. The wind is powerful enough to uproot huge trees, knocking Nia off balance and throwing her far away. Severed tree trunks rain from above and crush everything below. Nia can only crouch, cover her head, and cry helplessly amid the debris. Help! Can anyone save me? Little Ming, why has everything become like this? Seeing her mount pinned beneath enormous trees, she suppresses her grief and transfers magic to heal it. Steal back, hold on! But Ming has completely lost its mind. Glowing eerily in the air, it dives like a ghost toward its former master. Facing the lethal strike, Nia screams as an invasive energy seizes her mind. Consciousness manipulation activates, and draws her into a mental realm of stone pillars floating in emptiness. Nia sighs in relief when she realizes the pet contract is not completely severed. Thank goodness. The contract remains. I successfully entered little Ming's spiritual world. Far away, a beautiful angel with pure white wings gently holds the little owl. Nia stares in disbelief. An angel hugging my pet? This world cannot get any more unreal. The young woman freezes before the powerful presence, wondering why a noble angel appears inside a small spirit beast's mind. The angel smiles mysteriously and calls softly, Come here. As Nia steps forward, the beautiful face suddenly twists into a bloody red skeleton that roars. Come here! Terrified, Nia clutches her head and screams for help. What kind of angel changes faces faster than an ex-lover? Back in reality, little Steelback growls and tries to protect its master. The owl Ming dives madly with cross-shaped eyes blazing, aiming directly at Nia. At the critical moment, the slime mold appears and smashes an iron mace into the bird's face. Using Captain Hector's weapon, it repeatedly pounds the holy fall-corrupted owl with all its strength. Nia stares through tears at the familiar weapon. It is Captain Hector's mace. At level 49 with maxed pulsation, the slime mold's control over cellular matter has become perfect, more flexible and precise than human hands. It proudly names the powerful move Slime Mold Meteor Hammer. If stones are bullets, this weapon is a cannon. With its new strength, it smashes apart the huge trees pinning little Steelback and frees the boar. Nia falls to her knees and looks tearfully at the tiny creature. Thank you? Despite its size, it can handle an entire forest. She gently lifts the slime mold into her palm, thoughtful and moved. I feel something very familiar from you. I may have figured it out. The slime mold waits eagerly for a perceptive conclusion, but Nia suddenly bursts into tears. Wow! You must be Captain Hector! You put your soul into this little monster specifically to save Nia, did you not? The slime mold freezes and screams inwardly. Not even close! This slime is just a slime! Little Steelback snorts skeptically at its master's conclusion. Amid the confusion, a horrifying shadow rises from the rubble. Though severely wounded and covered in magical sores, Mi Ming has not fallen. It shrieks resentfully. Nia regains her composure and prepares for the final battle. Little Steelback, I will transfer magic to you first. Can you still fight? The boar growls determinedly. Meanwhile, the slime mold spreads itself across the ground in a web and activates wide area search. With max level pulsation, it quickly identifies the enemy's weakness. Found it. Mi Ming, prepare to disappear. The slime mold suddenly launches a powerful piercing strike from underground and immobilizes the owl. Mi Ming groans in pain. Before it can resist, the slime mold controls the iron mace and knocks the monster high into the air. Seeing the opening, it shouts, Now! Everything into the finishing blow! The ultimate skill protoplasm cannon activates. The 1,000-pound mace pierces Mi Ming's body and pins it to an ancient tree. Looking at the destruction, the slime mold retracts its extremely long body and thinks awkwardly. Oops. I used too much strength. Nia silently looks at her motionless spirit beast, then turns in realization. I remember. You are the little monster I met by the campfire a few hours ago. And you were also the one I saw earlier through Mi Ming's vision. Nia crouches and looks gratefully at the golden blob. You followed me all this way. Do you have special feelings for me? If so, our compatibility may be very high. She gently lifts it into her palm and senses a destined connection approaching. Kneeling inside a glowing magic circle beneath the moon, Nia sincerely asks, Will you form a pet contract with me? She smiles warmly and promises full meals, good sleep, and no fear of starvation. Just as the slime mold prepares to agree, a red system warning crushes its excitement. Once it signs a servant contract with a human, access to the system will be lost forever. Forced to choose between system freedom and a beautiful master, it panics. What? I can choose only the system or a master? Gazing at its future master's generous figure, it thinks that however useful a system may be, it cannot compare with the fiery heroines of classic shonen stories. A glorious future immediately appears in its mind. They will train together beneath the sunset and fight side by side in great arenas. The slime mold imagines becoming a muscular warrior with overpowered skills like protoplasm cannon and phagocyte bullet, the strongest rookie and an idol among adventurers. The greatest scene is their fusion. Nia wears alluring golden armor and stands among reporters' microphones to discuss their success. The slime mold even dreams of evolving into a handsome blonde man with a powerful third eye on his forehead. It will fight alongside Nia, defeat the Demon King, and finish with a magnificent wedding. Before countless witnesses, it laughs smugly in fantasy. Systems are an outdated genre. Given the choice, of course I choose a beautiful master. This fungus has already planned the next 100 episodes. Hee hee. Returning to reality, it looks at the beautiful girl waiting and makes its decision. But while it is still thinking, something suddenly strikes Nia in the head. Everything happens too quickly for the slime mold to react. The attacker is the bird monster, which somehow remains alive even after losing its head. Mi Ming writhes through a disgusting transformation. Excess flesh and countless glowing red eyes grow across its body. Before the evolution completes, little Steelback roars angrily and charges like an arrow toward the evil entity. The slime mold stares in horror. The head I just smashed is growing back. Seeing little Steelback prepare to rush in, it frantically warns, Do not! Calm down, pig buddy! But it is too late. Nia's mount has lost control and charges the grotesque being. Mi Ming extends a skeletal finger and casts the abyssal spell Degeneration Ray. Multicolored light envelopes little Steelback, leaving it confused. In an instant, the mighty armored boar transforms back into a tiny, weak piglet. Terrified, it runs away, leaving Nia alone at the scene. The slime mold is stunned. Degeneration? Can that owl really use such magic? No, it is not the owl. A new entity emerges from Mining's corpse, with long blue hair and an arrogant expression. She is Merlin, guild master of Blue Hat, and one of the church's 7 holy knights. She speaks contemptuously. How troublesome! So many resources wasted, yet that useless old fool still could not handle this minor matter. Merlin complains that she must clean up the mess caused by the old man from the Holy See. Sensing that the imprisoning barrier has vanished, Merlin growls. But I will not let you escape, ghost! She casts the abyssal spell Gate of Gales, creating enormous wings of light behind her. Amid the rubble, Nia lies lifeless in a pool of blood. Hiding at a distance, the slime mold watches the enemy vanish into the sky. She flew away. Was that another human transferring her consciousness into the owl's corpse with magic? Helplessness overwhelms it as it realizes she completely ignored it because it was too weak. It looks painfully at Nia's body, the person with whom it was about to form a contract. She killed my master. No, the contract was never signed. Should I be happy that I survived? Ashamed of its cowardly thought, the slime mold screams through tears. Of course not. My friend was killed, and I only thought about survival. Am I still a man? This time, I must take revenge. The slime mold declares that even if it cannot kill the enemy, it will at least smash a pile of protoplasm into the murderer's face, then races into the forest.